The president offering a full measure of support to his former national security advisor, Michael Flynn, this morning. The president believes that, like Paul Manafort, Flynn was treated very unfairly by the Office of Special Counsel. And the president tweeting this morning, "Good luck today in court to General Michael Flynn. Will be interesting to see what he has to say. Despite tremendous pressure being put on him about Russia collusion in our great and obviously highly successful political campaign, there was no collusion." The Office of Special Counsel last night released the so-called FBI 302s from Flynn's interview back in January of 2017. They lay out the falsehoods they say Flynn told Peter Strzok and another FBI agent regarding his contacts with Russian Ambassador Sergei Kislyak. Flynn telling agents that he did not ask Russia to vote in a certain way on a UN Security Council resolution on Israel and did not ask for Russia to moderate its response to the expulsion of 35 diplomats as punishment for hacking. We have since found out that Flynn did, in fact, ask for both of those things. The president also taking aim at the Mueller investigation over the unverified dossier, specifically deleted text messages. The president tweeting, "Biggest outrage yet in the long, winding, and highly conflicted Mueller witch hunt is the fact that 19,000 demanded text messages between Peter Strzok and his FBI lover Lisa Page were purposely and illegally deleted. Would have explained the whole hoax, which is now under protest." The Office of Special Counsel, as you pointed out, has asked for no jail time. What will be interesting to see is whether Judge Emmett Sullivan takes into account some of the information that he demanded last week regarding how the FBI conducted the interview with Michael Flynn, how they just sent a couple of FBI agents over to the White House, breaking with normal protocol for how that's done, and the fact that they pressured him into not having an attorney present. Bill?
The deadline to avoid a shutdown, is coming up a few days away. Where do we stand, John?
Well, it looked like there was some movement yesterday on a potential deal, but it all seemed to come to a halt at about 5 o'clock yesterday. There is a continuing resolution out there which would fund border security at a level of about $1.6 billion. We understand that some Democrats have agreed that that's something that they could sign on to, and there seemed to be an increasing desire by some Republicans to sign on to a long-term continuing resolution. But that $1.6 billion is far less than what the president has been asking for. He wants $5 billion, so the White House would likely have to compromise. The president tweeting this morning about it, quote, "Illegal immigration cost the United States more than $200 billion a year. How was this allowed to happen? If there's no deal by Friday, there will be a partial government shutdown." Senator Chuck Schumer, who got blamed for the last shutdown last winter over DACA, now aggressively laying the foundation to blame the president. Here's what Schumer said.
If President Trump decides to shut down the government, there is no end game in which President Trump gets the wall. There is no end game for Republicans in which they can avoid their share of responsibility, overwhelming share, for shutdown.
The White House knows that it's likely not going to get the $5 billion that the president wants. So the question is, what is the White House willing to accept? Again, there's the $1.6 billion out there. I've heard a number of about $2.5 billion kicked around. And if the president doesn't get everything that he's looking for, sources are telling Fox News that they may look here at the White House for a legal opinion as to whether the president could reallocate some money in the military construction budget to build the wall, maybe as much as $3 billion. I'll leave it to you folks to ask your next guest, Sarah Huckabee Sanders, more about that.
Thank you, John. Nice to see you there in the North Lawn. John Roberts, thanks.